Well, hello, welcome back to Smarts Run Base. Hope you're doing fine. Had an interesting question from Holland. Everybody's coming back with some really good questions, and I'm happy about that because I'm happy to do a video and show and explain what I understand of these things. But the question from Holland was on my two Alembic bases, the Stanley Clark signature model and my Orion Custom. So the Orion Custom has the AXY pickups. The Stanley Clark has MXY pickups, and according to Alembic, internally they're actually the same. They're single coil with a dummy coil on the back, but the outside shape is markedly different. So let's just verify that fact, and let's have a listen to the bases and sort of compare. Now I can tell you the different scale lengths. Stanley Clark 30.75 inch, Orion is 34 inch. The top woods on the Stanley Clark, the front and back are bird's eye maple, so it's fairly bright wood on a mahogany core. On the Orion, it is vermilion on a mahogany back, and according to Alembic, the vermilion gives you a bump in the lower mids, which appealed to me because I like to have a little bit of punch, especially with fingerstyle and stuff. And the suggestion from Alembic also was put a Fatboy in the bridge position. You're going to love it. It's a wider pickup. It's got a wider coil. It sees more string movement close to the bridge. So it has a punchier, fatter sound than a normal width pickup. But let's start with having a look at the pickups with the help of our little magnetic film tool. And it can show us what the magnet structures look like internally. So let's start with the Orion and see what we can see by slipping this card, and you can see straight away that this is a single coil, although it does have a hum cancelling dummy coil in the back, and this is the Fatboy. And now you can see the difference in the width of the magnet between this one and that one, and that's probably at least 2 or 3 times the width. So because it sees more string here, it gets a fatter sound from this position than that style of pickup would if it was here. And now we come to the Stanley Clark signature. And indeed, if we look at those magnet structures, they look the same as the neck pickup in the Orion. So looking at them this way, indeed, even though the shape on the outside of the pickup is very different, the internal structure looks the same. So for the purpose of this exercise, I'm going through the mixer, set flat. I'm going through a radial stage bug, passive DI, so there's no EQ involved, no compression, no anything, just so that we can purely hear exactly what these pickups sound like on each respective bass. So first up, let's hear from the Orion bass. This has DR high beams on it. They're stainless steel strings, so they're pretty balanced, pretty bright, without being over bright. And I've got the filter wide open. We're going to go to the neck pickup, which is more similar to the Stanley Clark, and just have a listen to what that sounds like with the filter wide open. Now, so to me, having owned these basses for quite a while, I can tell the difference in the strings with the same pickup on. I can't really say there's that much difference between the sound. So if I had put these types of strings on the other bass, it would pretty much sound the same. It would still have that little, just sort of more warmth than the stainless steels, a little less top end. So, wow. And it's hard to draw a conclusion here because the basses aren't exactly the same, the strings aren't exactly the same. But I think I can draw the conclusion that if this pickup was in the other bass or vice versa, it would have the same function and the same sound in each bass. The only one that will make a difference, I think, is the Fatboy. So let's roll over to the bridge pickup on this one, which is the narrower one, the narrower coil, and then we'll try the same thing with the Fatboy and see if indeed it picks up more information from the string and has a bigger sound. Let's check that out. Now let's compare that to the Fatboy and the other bass. Now I can definitely hear the little bounce in the top of the sound of the stainless steel strings there. To me, it doesn't really sound much fatter than the other one, to be honest. Maybe there's something there. Maybe if I'm rolling the filter back, that accentuates the bottom end. Let's roll the filter back on the Stanley Clark and see if we get a similar result. Now there I can hear a difference. I think the Fatboy with the filter rolled back actually has a deeper sound than this single coil pickup, which is the narrower style in this casing. So yeah, definitely I think the Fatboy definitely has a different tone, regardless of the strings and stuff, because we kind of, well, at least I kind of know how the strings sound on different basses because I've been using the DR high beams for years. I know exactly what they sound like, and I've been using this on this for quite a while, and I know they're a warmer string. They're a little bit more mid-centric, sort of less bright, but on this bass it's not a bad combination. So the difference with the two filters on this bass is that you can say roll off the filter on you can roll the filter off on the bridge, so you're mixing this sound with this sound. It's a bit scratchy, isn't it? We'll go the other way around and put the filter up on the bridge and put the filter down on the neck. And then you use the Q and you get instant Stanley Clark. I wish. So that was an interesting question, Holland, and I thank you for asking it because I'm very curious about these things myself. So there you go. I hope this helped somewhat answer the question. At least we now know that the pickups internally are the same. Alembic was telling us exactly what they did with it, and that's very, very true. And we can see that with the help of that magic film. That the Fatboy is a Fatboy. It's got the bigger magnet, wider coil, and picks up more string vibrations down there, and has a slightly fatter sound when you roll that filter back than the normal single coil pickup. So yeah, I mean, as far as the basses being different, yeah, they are different, the strings are different, but I think we can safely say that the pickups are the same internally, therefore should sound the same pretty much, given all the inherent differences in the basses. The filters are the same, I know that. The advantage of the two filters is obvious, you can pull more sounds, but the single filter on the Orion is actually quite convenient as like an active tone control. And sometimes I'll roll it back a little bit just to warm up the sound. And sometimes I'll crank it and put the filter on so it gives a 6K boost for slapping, and it really helps with those pops with a very bright sound. But yeah, look, I hope you found the information interesting at the very least. Until next time, stay well, be happy, be nice to each other. God bless. Keep making music and keep playing bass. And I'll catch you guys really, really soon. Look after yourselves. Bye for now.